America comes home to college football's best. Penn State battles Pittsburgh. Number 1 Notre Dame faces Miami. Tomorrow, celebrate on CBS.
This is CBS.
Good evening, I'm Jack Bowen.
And I'm Patty Suarez. These stories are just ahead on Newsline 9.
I'm Gan Matthews. A court hearing in Oklahoma City about how to clean up a toxic dump.
I'm Brett Johnson. More firefighters are sitting the bench permanently when it comes to volleyball and basketball games.
And I'm Deborah Lauren, downtown, where we will help you officially kick off the holiday season. We'll have these stories and more for you next on Newsline 9.
9, the spirit of Oklahoma.
Now, the #1 rated newscast in Oklahoma with Jack Bowen, Patty Suarez, Bill Teagan Sports, and Gary England with the weather. This is Newsline 9.
Hello. A solution may soon be in sight for the Hardage dump near Kreiner, Oklahoma. The dump has been closed for 9 years now. 6 years ago, it was placed on the priority list of Superfund sites. But the question of how to clean up the site has not been resolved. And Gan Matthews reports that that question is now facing a federal judge in Oklahoma City.
There's no dispute over who will pay for the cleanup of the Hardage site. The companies that dumped millions of gallons of industrial waste here will foot the bill. The dispute is over the size of the cleanup and the cost. The Environmental Protection Agency has the most elaborate and expensive cleanup plan. Its cost, $83 million.
We wanted more, dig it up, excavate it, source removal, take it off to a permitted incinerator facility off-site and destroy it.
The Hardage Steering Committee, a group of large waste contributors, has a more modest $50 million cleanup plan. The group says its plan is safer than the EPA's.
This morning, federal judge Lane Phillips began sifting through the arguments about which cleanup plan is best. The trial will probably take a month. In the meantime, people who live near the dump site wonder if anything will ever be done about their situation.
At least 100 people live within 3 miles of the dump. They raise families, they raise cattle and crops. They worry about contamination of the groundwater. At a recent EPA-sponsored public hearing, they asked when their lives would return to normal.
How many years away are you to actually containing it?
The companies have put up a fence around the dump site, and they've installed some safe water lines for residents. They say more will be done soon once the court decides on the cleanup plan.
Well, I would hope, and my clients all hope, that we can move as quickly as possible and start doing something to clean up the site.
We now, hopefully, are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel as far as an agreement here on the Hardage site.
People near the site hope that's true. They feel they've been dumped on long enough. Gan Matthews, Newsline 9.
And possible toxic time bombs are in numerous other parts of our state this evening. Last night, we showed you 3 Oklahoma City sites on the EPA Superfund cleanup list, but there are more. Ponca City has 2 highly publicized situations: sludge seeping into basements near the Conoco refinery, and a former power plant that may house the state's worst asbestos contamination problem. To the south, near Cushing, at what used to be Kerr-McGee's thorium processing plant, groundwater has 400 times the radioactivity allowed in drinking water. More on these sites and others tonight at 10 o'clock in our series, Toxic Time Bomb.
Quick thinking by a 10-year-old boy saved his life and the lives of 2 adults in an early morning house fire. The fire started in the living room of this house, the apparent result of an electrical short. The house had no smoke alarms, but the crackling of the fire awakened the boy, who went next door and called the fire department. Firefighters rescued the boy's mother, 27-year-old Bernadette Kincaid.
Firefighters found the lady in a closet with no vital signs, pulled her out of the house, revived her, and she's currently in Baptist Hospital in critical condition.
Another person in the house, 33-year-old Lester Love, is also in critical condition at Baptist. We can't stress enough how critical smoke alarms are to saving lives in case of fire. If you need one, call 232-7121. The city of Moore has sounded the buzzer, so to speak, on firefighters playing basketball and volleyball during mandatory exercise programs. The city claims injuries from the games are costing it money. Newsline 9's Brett Johnson reports the firefighters are crying foul over alleged contract violations.
That competitive edge is now sitting on the bench during daily workouts for more firefighters. Shooting a few hoops and batting around a few tennis balls is about as physical as this PE period gets. City officials have called the game on basketball and volleyball because they claim they've spent more than $30,000 this year trying to keep their firefighters healthy.
A large amount is medical injuries, and a large amount is also overtime being paid to personnel working overtime.
A direct result from them playing basketball?
Yes.
Chief Knight says at least 3 of his men have missed more than a month of work due to knee and ankle injuries. And because the workouts are actually part of the firefighter's contract, he must pay them workers' compensation. But Jim Reed of the Firefighters Union is upset. He says it's the contract, not the game, that's coming into play here.
The issue is that they changed the contract without negotiating it to us. They said that we cost them a lot of overtime for the injuries. We didn't cost them the overtime. If they'd had the man he needed to run this department, it'd cut their overtime by about 65%. We've got documented proof on that.
Reed claims the 42 men in the department is about 4 shy of what's needed to provide more with adequate firefighting coverage. But the basketball/volleyball issue is now in arbitration, which means the game is in something of an extended halftime until the referee makes the call. Brett Johnson, Newsline 9.
If animal rights groups have their way, fur coats will be scratched off everybody's Christmas shopping lists this year. About 100 members of Volunteers for Animal Welfare staged a Fur-Free Friday protest at the Penn Square Mall. It's part of a nationwide picket aimed at persuading shoppers not to buy any kind of fur products this season.
Today we're hoping to accomplish to people to get to the point where they think about the animals involved and the suffering and the torment that they've gone through to make a fur product. We're asking them not to buy fur this Christmas, even fur items such as fur-lined gloves.
Nationwide, shoppers were confronted by thousands of animal rights activists. In New York, game show host Bob Barker led a march down Fifth Avenue. And if you were brave enough to try and take care of some Christmas shopping today, then you know why this is called the busiest shopping day of the year. Shopping malls across the Metroplex were filled with folks today for what's traditionally the most popular day to Christmas shop. Kathy Dodson plans to drop some big bucks this holiday season.
Oh my gosh, do you really want me to tell you that?
Well,
$1,500.
You're expecting $1,500?
Yes. I have a big family that I care a lot about.
Local store managers hope other shoppers plan to spend as much as Ms. Dodson. They're expecting record sales this year.
And still to come on Newsline 9, believe it or not, Gary England says the weather will get even better.
Hard to believe. Sooner basketball promises to be fast and furious this season.
Little people get some help keeping big secrets this Christmas.
And the family that skates together hopefully stays together. Their story when we come back. Many of us are spending this Thanksgiving weekend with our families, something that 36,000 children in this country cannot do because they're waiting for families to make a difference by adopting them. This is National Adoption Week, so this evening we want you to meet 4 Oklahoma children waiting for homes. I met them at the Iceland Sports Center.
I'm not bold.
4 kids here who've skated but never on ice, but they took the slippery step of faith. That's Doug. He's 11 and has 2 sisters. Amber, she's younger, 9, and Jennifer, who at the advanced age of 12 knows there's more than one way to ice skate. Jennifer also told me what kind of family she and Doug and Amber want.
Nice, kind, and who doesn't think about all my mistakes.
This is Robin, a 13-year-old girl who also wants to be adopted.
Well, do you think roller skating is a lot like ice skating?
No, roller skating is much easier.
Why would you like to be adopted?
Just so that I'd have real parents, I guess.
How many foster homes have you lived in?
I think it's like my 5th or 6th one.
And that's over how long a time?
It's my 3rd year.
After a hockey game broke out, we broke for lunch as guests of a local sandwich shop. Now, some final notes about these children. Robin is in counseling and needs to continue that even after she gets a home. And she also needs to be adopted by a single woman. And Jennifer and Amber and Doug, the brother and 2 sisters, do want to stay together. So all 3 of these need to be adopted by one family. And now here's hoping these kids will have their next Thanksgiving meal with permanent families.
And families wanting more information about adopting these kids should call the Oklahoma Department of Human Services at 521-3438 or 521-2475. Now, DHS offices are closed for the holiday weekend, but you can call them starting on Monday.
Great kids. Get some calls on those kids. And there is a way your children can help make a difference this Christmas by shopping at the Children's Christmas Store. It's set up at Quail Springs Mall. Only kids ages 4 to 11 are allowed to shop here. No adults allowed, but there are volunteers to help them pick out the gifts.
I like going shopping because it's fun to get things for other people.
But they're doing more than that. All the proceeds go toward the Christmas Connection to help give children food and gifts and clothes. Oh, about 6,000 people will benefit from the Christmas Connection.
Boy, that's great. I helped a little boy named Daniel shop out there today. 6 gifts for $19.50. Not a bad shopper, Daniel.
Well, and he had some help, too.
He sure did, yeah. Hope he gives my wife some lessons. No, just kidding, Linda.
Oh, that was a mean joke.
Did they ever show his ice skates today?
No, I don't think he had them on.
Just wanted to check that. Okay, we'll be back after this. 56 degrees right now in Oklahoma City. The winds are south 20, gust to 29, and it was a little fierce today. They'll gradually decrease tonight, but for the high school football games, it's going to feel cold tonight. And just a little cool in the morning, and then it'll be fair and mild tomorrow. I think the wind tomorrow in Oklahoma will generally be about 20 miles per hour or less. That's the way it looks right now. 29.70 and steady on the pressure. Let's take a look now. Oh, would you believe that? Normal is a 56. We had a 60. The record is 76. The normal low is a 35. We had a 36, and the record low is a 15. So 36 and 50. Temperature-wise, not bad. The wind's totally out of control. As I mentioned, tomorrow it looks like the wind will be down, but Sunday the winds are going to increase, and it's going to be a real screamer out of the south come Sunday and also on Monday. So there's going to be a lot of wind coming up. Slight chance, slight opportunity for a few thunderstorms. A few thunderstorms on Monday, the way it looks, but the big wind will return, as I mentioned once again, on Sunday. Okay, 50s, 58 at Gage, 65 at Altus, not bad. 66 degrees in Hollis this afternoon. 56 Durant, McAllister, 55. Same reading at Tulsa. It's going to end up to be a nice evening, but there's enough wind it feels a little on the cool side. In the east, where they've had a lot of snow in the last day or two, it's cleared out. They had lots of sunshine, just clear skies now, and kind of nice weather. They're a little cold up there and around the New England area. And lots of cloud cover out here. The flow and the upper winds which control all of our storm system from west to east and rather fast. There's a little storm system right here going by to our north caused the wind increase. And looks like by later on tomorrow, there'll be a strong storm developing in the western part of the country, moving toward Oklahoma. And like I said, that's going to bring the winds up rather solid out of the south come about Sunday. Most of this cloud cover is above 12 or 18,000 feet. Most of it's high clouds. But there's enough moisture it's giving a little bit of snow in the Colorado ski areas. There's no precipitation here, hardly any up here. There is some scattered snow activity going on in parts of California, Washington, and Oregon. And tomorrow there'll be snow in parts of Montana and Wyoming, a little bit moving down into Colorado. This big low pressure area in here will be cranking up, and the winds will be blowing out in the southwest quite a bit. San Francisco will be a little cool, northerly winds at about 59. Dallas will be okay with a 73. A little cooler at Kansas City at 58. Denver 57. Chance of some rain or a thunderstorm in Memphis tomorrow in 68. And fair in 64 in Atlanta. And like I said, this is not a bad weather map for Oklahoma for tomorrow, but by Sunday, this system right here will be moving right in very, very close to Oklahoma. So as I mentioned, on Sunday, the winds will be as strong as we had today or stronger. Around 66 or so tomorrow. We'll call it mid-60s the next couple of days. And then that slight risk of a thunderstorm on Monday on the forecast for the state. For tonight, fair and cool. Lows about 39 to 49. And for tomorrow, for the state of Oklahoma, fair and mild, 60s and 70s. And for Oklahoma City and vicinity, cool tonight, mild tomorrow, 44, and looks like a high about 66. And so we'll enjoy tomorrow. Sunday may be a little interesting.
Play your tie, play your tie.
Oh, play my tie, play my tie. Come play my tie.
Jingle bells. His tie plays jingle bells.
Isn't that great?
I will read stocks accompanied by Gary's tie. Turning to business news, the Dow rose while crude prices today stayed the same. West Texas Intermediate held at 1982 per barrel. The Dow Industrials rose nearly 19 points to 2,675.55. Transportations gained more than 9.5. Utilities up 0.26. 86 million shares traded.
Coming up in sports, one more game, and it's on to the high school football finals.
And OU basketball players take on a different kind of team. Bill will have more when we come back.
Bill is here to talk about college football.
Yes, a great game today. The battle for the Southwest Conference title today here on TV9 is the Arkansas Razorbacks and Texas A&M Aggies went at a great ball game, as I mentioned. Let's take a look at the highlights. Razorbacks jumped out to an early lead and looked like they were going to blow it open. Quinn Grovey, Arkansas quarterback, native of Duncan, a great run here to put the Razorbacks on top early. This play 25 yards, and you can see he made a great run, broke all kinds of tackles. Arkansas led 14-0. The Aggies battled back. Quarterback Lance Pavlis to the air. Mike Jones, nice catch, 27-yard touchdown. Barry Foster, though, got the game-winning score with less than 3 minutes left in the game for Arkansas. The Razorbacks won it 23-22 was the final, and now Arkansas only needs to defeat SMU to make it back to the Cotton Bowl. Controversy over the Eagles-Cowboys game yesterday continued today. Jimmy Johnson said he believes more than ever that the Eagles were out to injure Troy Aikman and Luis Sendejas, and that Eagles coach Buddy Ryan put a bounty on their heads. Johnson said it's now up to the league to do something about it. Jimmy was really upset yesterday after the game, and Buddy Ryan was upset today.
I would have said something to Buddy, but he wouldn't stand on the field long enough. He put his big fat rear end into the dressing room.
You don't go around saying that. I just like, calling me fat. I resent that. I've been on a diet. I lost a couple of pounds, and I thought I was looking good. And then he goes and calls me fat. I kind of resent that a little bit.
Yeah, don't blame you there, buddy. High school football playoffs continue tonight. Games all over the state. In the Class 5A semifinals, top-ranked Midwest City takes on Booker T. Washington in Tulsa. In Edmond, the Bulldogs hosting Stillwater. Highlights of those games, scores from all over the state. That's coming up on Late Edition. The Oklahoma Sooners take on Athletes in Action tonight in exhibition basketball at Lloyd Noble. Tip-off is 7:30. This is the final tune-up for the regular season, which gets underway next week. And Rich Lenz says it will be the kind of basketball Sooner fans have come to expect.
You don't even have to play basketball to get out of breath these days. Just sitting there on your couch and watching is enough. Back and forth, shoot 'em up. Scoring is in. Billy's brand of basketball is suddenly all the rage.
You can see that it can take you almost to a national championship, and people are saying, hey, if it works for Oklahoma, it might work for them. Yeah, I see a lot more respect for the up-tempo coaches right now than we had, say, 7 or 8 years ago.
That's what the fans are asking for. You know, the fans are tired of coming out and sitting down and watching, every play-by-play ran. And, they like a few excitement. And if the fans happy, then, everybody's happy.
It is a lot of fun to sit up here in the stands and watch these guys run up and down the court. But Coach Tubbs gives a much simpler reason for wanting to play up-tempo basketball.
People are going to go with what's winning. That's what slowed the game down to its pace 5 years ago. Some teams had a lot of success walking the ball up and down the floor without the 45-second clock, so people drifted into that conservative mode. Now they're kind of coming back out of the shell.
Who knows, someday you might see all 4 Final Four teams averaging over 100 points a game. That wouldn't bother Billy Tubbs a bit, as long as he was one of them. Rich Lenz, Sportsline 9.
Wrestling fans get a chance to see some great action in Norman this weekend. The 17th annual Oklahoma Open at the OU Fieldhouse. Today it was the junior high and high school wrestlers. Tomorrow it'll be the college wrestlers going at it. This is Brian Hurst of Berry Hill with a decision over Todd Wiley of Del City. This is a great event not only for the wrestlers, but for their coaches as well.
At the high school level, it gets you started. You have all the classes coming together. We have teams from different states, and it gets them a good preseason going. And a lot of these college coaches get to see the talent of high school athletes, and that's one of the big things with the college and the high school athletes, watching what athletes are out there, especially in Oklahoma.
Another big day of racing in Remington. Let's check it out. In the feature race, it was Ruling Passion the winner, followed by Hillcrest Express and Silent White. No pick six winners today. Carry over 25 grand. Attendance 13,000. You see the handle 1.3 million.
All right. Thank you, Bill.
We'll be back after this. Downtown Oklahoma. Gary's tie is going off. Downtown Oklahoma City is lit up tonight as the Christmas season kicks off.
Deborah Lauren is at Kerr Park right now for the annual Festival of Lights and for the lighting of the city Christmas tree. Deborah, well, they've lit it already, haven't they?
They just lit it. We just missed showing it to you and sharing it with you, but in case you weren't able to see it, maybe you can come down. You just cannot imagine how beautiful this park is. Every tree is lit up. Let's show you the Christmas tree because it has a very special meaning. This is the Salvation Army Christmas tree. It has about 1,000 red bulbs on it. And for every $500 donated to the Salvation Army, they will replace a red bulb with a white one. And that will help the Salvation Army raise money for the needy people, to help them have food for the holidays and help them buy gifts for this Christmas, something that they don't normally expect to do. So we hope you can help them with that. With that, we hope you're in the holiday spirit. We hope you can come down here and see this beautiful sight down here, and we hope you have a very happy and safe holiday. Deborah Lauren, Newsline 9.
Thanks, Jim. We want to see that tree completely white. That'd be nice.
Yeah, it's pretty, but it'll be even prettier then.
Yeah. Play us some going home music.
Play going home music. I see here.
Happy holidays.
Bye-bye.
Happy holidays.
Newsline 9 is the #1 rated newscast in Oklahoma.